9 reasons why more travelers than ever are denied boarding. You're packed, passport ready, standing in line at the gate, moments from your long-awaited getaway, and then your name is called, but not to board. Instead, you're pulled aside and told you can't get on the flight. It's happening more than ever in 2025. And not just to rookie travelers. Even seasoned flyers are getting denied boarding for reasons they never saw coming. In this video, we're counting down 9 real reasons why travelers, just like you, are being stopped at the gate. Some are obvious. Others, totally unexpected. We'll explain how to avoid every single one. And stick around for reason number 9, because it's the most frustrating one of all, and it's becoming more common every week. Let's dive in. Reason number 1, passport damage. Even small tears count. Imagine this. You're already at the airport. You've checked in, your bags are gone, you're standing at the gate, just minutes from boarding. And then, boom, an agent pulls you aside and tells you, you can't board. The reason? Your passport. Not because it's expired, but because it's damaged. A tiny tear, a little water stain, even a peeling corner on the photo page. That's all it takes. A growing number of countries now reject passports with any visible damage, and airlines have started cracking down too. If they let you fly and immigration turns you away, they're responsible for flying you back at their own expense. So instead, they stop you before you ever step on the plane. What counts as damage? Even something small. A tear on a page, a watermark, a loose cover, or a bent or faded chip. It doesn't have to be dramatic. The fix is simple. Check your passport before your trip. Hold it up to the light. Flip through every page. If anything looks even slightly off, get it replaced now, before it ruins your entire trip. Reason number 2. Not meeting the minimum passport validity. Here's one that catches even seasoned travelers off guard. You've got 4 months left on your passport. That sounds like plenty of time, right? Except in many countries, it's not. A lot of places require at least 6 months of passport validity after your arrival date. Not your departure, your arrival. And if you don't meet that requirement, you won't be allowed to board. It doesn't matter if your ticket's valid. It doesn't matter if you've traveled before. If your passport is just a little too close to expiring, you're staying grounded. Why do they do this? It's all about protecting immigration systems. Countries want to make sure travelers don't overstay or get stranded. And airlines? They're not willing to risk a fine or the cost of flying you home. To stay safe, always check your passport's expiration date and renew it if it's within 9 months of expiring. That gives you plenty of buffer, especially for international trips. A valid passport doesn't always mean you're good to fly, and this mistake has left plenty of travelers stuck at the airport wondering what went wrong. Reason number 3. Name doesn't match exactly on your ticket and ID. You booked your flight, got the confirmation email, everything looks good. Until you get to the airport and suddenly, you're not allowed to board. Why? Because your name doesn't match exactly what's on your passport or government-issued ID. Maybe it was just a typo. Maybe you used a nickname. Or maybe your last name got misspelled by 1 letter. Doesn't matter. Airlines and security systems are becoming stricter, and even the smallest mismatch can raise red flags. For example, if your ID says Jonathan, but your ticket says John, or if your middle name is missing from one of them, you could be stopped at check-in. And if you're traveling internationally, that small error can completely derail your trip. To avoid this, always book your flight with the exact same name that appears on your travel ID. Not close to, not pretty much, not how you usually spell it. Double-check everything before you hit that confirm button. And if you do notice a mistake, contact the airline immediately. Most will fix it for free or a small fee, but only if you catch it early. Reason number 4. Missing or invalid visa for your destination. Here's one that can feel unfair, because you might not even realize it's happening. Let's say you're headed to a beautiful country you've been dreaming about. You've packed, planned, and prepaid. You even triple-checked your passport. But what you didn't check? Whether you actually need a visa to enter. Some countries require a visa to be arranged well in advance, even for short tourist visits. Others have complex rules based on your nationality, even if you're just transiting through. If your visa is missing, expired, or even just not the correct type, the airline can and will deny you at the gate. It doesn't matter how far you travel to get to the airport. If your paperwork's not right, you're not going. So here's your move. Always check visa requirements before booking international travel. Don't rely on generic advice from blogs or friends. Go straight to the official embassy or immigration website of the country you're visiting. Sometimes it's as simple as an online form. Other times, you might need weeks to process it. Either way, don't leave it to chance. Because showing up without the right visa is a guaranteed way to get turned around. Why? Because your name doesn't match exactly what's on your passport or government-issued ID. Reason number 5. You're too sick to fly in the airline's eyes. This one catches travelers off guard, especially because you might feel totally fine. But if you're coughing a lot, look pale or weak, or are visibly struggling at the airport, a gate agent or flight crew can deny you boarding for being medically unfit to fly. It sounds dramatic, but airlines have a responsibility to protect the health of all passengers on board. If they think you're showing signs of something contagious, or they're concerned you might need medical attention mid-air, they have the authority to stop you from flying. This happened a lot during the height of the pandemic, but it's still happening now, even with basic colds or flu symptoms. Sometimes, passengers are pulled aside because another traveler or crew member raised a concern. So here's what to do. If you're not feeling 100%, take precautions. Wear a mask if you're coughing or sneezing, stay hydrated, and try not to look visibly unwell at the gate. And if you have a non-contagious condition that affects your appearance, like a chronic cough or a skin condition, it might be smart to carry a doctor's note just in case. Because even if you know you're fine to fly, if the airline doesn't agree, you're not getting on that plane. Reason number 6. You're intoxicated or under the influence. This one's a no-brainer, but you'd be shocked how often it happens, especially on early morning flights after a big night out, or long-haul departures with nervous flyers having just one more drink. Airlines have zero tolerance for passengers who appear intoxicated or under the influence of drugs or alcohol. If you're slurring your words, acting erratic, or even just smell strongly of alcohol, a gate agent can pull you aside and stop you from boarding. And no, it doesn't matter if you're totally harmless or just tired. If there's even a slight concern that you might become disruptive or unwell during the flight, they're not taking the risk. The worst part? This isn't something you can talk your way out of. If you're denied boarding for intoxication, that decision is final, and often comes with consequences like being banned from the airline or losing your refund. So whether you're celebrating a vacation or calming your nerves, be smart. Save the drinks for after you land. Because missing your flight for one too many is a mistake that'll cost you big. Reason number 7. You got denied because you smell. Yes, really. Okay, this one might sound like a joke, but it's 100% real. Airlines can and do deny boarding to passengers because of strong or offensive body odor. It's listed under the catch-all category of disruptive behavior or offensive to others, and yep, smelling really bad can qualify. If other passengers or crew members complain, or if a gate agent notices a problem before you even board, they're allowed to step in and say, "Nope, not today." Sometimes it's due to hygiene. Other times, it could be because of spilled food, dirty clothes from long travel, or just plain forgetting to freshen up. Either way, if it's likely to make the flight uncomfortable for people around you, the airline has the right to take action. The fix? Travel with a bit of self-awareness. If you've been on the road, sweating through connections, or just had a long layover, take 5 minutes to freshen up in the restroom. Carry deodorant, breath mints, or even a clean t-shirt in your carry-on. It's not just for your sake. It could actually be the thing that keeps you from being stopped at the gate. And let's be honest, nobody wants to be that person on a packed plane. Reason number 8. You missed a visa on arrival requirement. This one catches a lot of people off guard, especially those traveling to places where you can just get a visa on arrival. Yes, some countries let you apply for a visa when you land. But here's what many travelers miss. Even those countries often require certain things before you board your flight. That might include passport photos, cash in the local currency, confirmed accommodation, or proof of exit within a certain time frame. Some countries even require you to pre-register online for that visa on arrival and bring the confirmation with you. If you can't show those things to the airline during check-in or boarding, they might deny you. Because again, it's their responsibility to make sure you meet entry requirements. So even if the country says visa on arrival, don't assume that means no prep needed. Read the fine print. Be ready with everything they ask for. And remember, if you're missing just one document or detail, your dream trip could end right there at the gate. Before we hit the final reason, I just want to say, huge thanks for sticking with me this far. It seriously means a lot, If you got any value out of these tips, do me a quick favor. Hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. And hey, if you want a little personal shout out, drop the words airport tips and tricks, plus your favorite destination down in the comments. That way, I'll know you made it to the end, and I'll make sure to thank you personally. All right, let's finish strong with one final reason people are being denied boarding. And trust me, this one catches even the smart travelers off guard. Reason number 9, you got denied because of your social media. Yep, you read that right. Something you posted online could actually stop you from getting on your flight. Airlines and even border agents in some countries have been known to search a passenger's social media before boarding, especially when something about your booking raises a red flag. Maybe it's a one-way ticket. Maybe you paid in cash. Maybe your name matches someone on a list. Whatever the reason, they dig a little deeper. And if what they find doesn't sit right, maybe you joked about skipping customs or posted a rant about airport security, guess what? You might be flagged as a risk. There are real stories of travelers being pulled aside, questioned, and even denied boarding based solely on things they posted online. It doesn't even have to be recent. Sometimes it's a meme from 5 years ago that doesn't look so funny anymore. So yeah, that Instagram story where you joked about smuggling snacks or sneaking past TSA might not be so harmless after all. Just remember, the airport doesn't play around, and when it comes to your flight, that little post could cost you big.